Hey everybody, OK Fixer here. This is part one, the very beginning of the new project. This is a 70 Volkswagen Beetle, or essentially it's what's left of a 70 Volkswagen Beetle. It has many problems, most of them being rot and rust, neglect. There is a couple of holes there I need to address. Probably not going to do it until I address the clutch tube and the throttle tube inside. It's going to need floor pan. It's going to need everything, okay? So, yeah, but I know a guy. See, I know a guy. That's the deal. I know a guy. I'm hoping this transaxle is still good. I need to pull a plug out of the bottom of that and see how much water is in it. I believe this car to be underwater at one time. This is a Louisiana car, so it's probably seen the bayou and probably seen some brackish water. All right, it was just kind of amazing that the side piece here has survived, but the inside has not. All right, some things. Yesterday I scored these for $300. I felt that I couldn't do any better. The tires themselves are going to be $300. These are date coded 20, almost 22, like 11 of 21. So they're 5 years old or whatever. And generally, you can get 10 years out of a tire and still be safe, but they have a lot of tread on them. They're not worn wacky. The guy says he only had about 1,000 miles on them, and I can understand that. The date codes are all over the place, but they are genuine VW, and they're all 4x15s, so that's good. The date codes range from this one being, if I can focus, this one being a 71. Okay, so I have one that's date coded 71, one that's date coded 72, one that's date coded 1970, and I have a really early one date coded 8 of, which would be August of 67, which would be the very first year of the 68. So it's the very first year of the 4-bolt pattern. Interesting indeed, that tire is. Okay, so I couldn't do too bad there. I got some floor pans. The problem with buying floor pans is I don't live in California. And shipping, where all the floor pans come from, it seems, is $300 or something crazy, and I don't have that kind of money. So I had to buy these, and I paid $120 less than J-Bug's cheapest ones, and I picked them up in Oklahoma City. So not a bad deal. The problem is how thin they are. They're very thin. I only think they're 1 millimeter. So they're very thin, but I've worked with these before. They're so thin, in fact, that has this plate on the back here, which is probably for the jack point. I don't know. But it's to reinforce it, which is scary if they got to reinforce that like that, which tells me what I'm going to do here is just like they did right there. I'm going to take a piece of metal. Okay, here's the end of the seat. I'm going to take a piece of metal and I'm going to put across here all the way to here. And then I'm going to slide out the seat in the back just a little bit and shove a piece of metal underneath and weld it on top, go all the way across. And I'm going to make a brace for the seat. and that will help stiffen things up. I don't like the idea of that thin of metal supporting the seat, so I'm going to do that. Okay, first thing we're going to do here is take these old floor pans off. It's not fun. It's a lot of work, but I want to leave this section here. And what I'll probably do is, since I cut that, I'll probably raise it up and I will join it together with another piece of metal. And I will cut it right there. And then I'll take the whole floor pan off, because when I adjust the floor pan, this will give me the idea how far out I need to go. And I also need to make some measurements back here as to how far this piece is going to go, because I'm going to take this section out. I'm going to take this section out because it's really rotted bad, and it's rotted bad on both sides. I thought about separating these so it's just the pan, it's not the back side. So I'm not going to do that. You have to think about what you're going to do here. So I'll have to make some measurements back there. Oh man, I need to get that off of there. That's our, boy, call me, boy, I'm telling you. It's what is that for? It's for the heated back glass is what it is. Relay for the heated back glass. And it's been, I can only imagine upside down in the rain. Oh boy. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it'll rehab. I'm sure it will. It's German. All right. I've got it in my chassis in the center of the garage. I got the heat on. Nice. And we're going to start working on this. This needs everything. It's pretty rusty and pretty rotten, but I know a guy. So I know a guy who can fix that. Scored me some tires and rims yesterday. I couldn't say no to this. You know, $300. So you can't buy tires for $300. So, and with rims. These are date coded 68, 70, 71, and 72. So it's a whole hodgepodge, but they are exactly the same. But the date code's right there. These are VW's right there. The date code is right there. These all are 4 by 15, 4.5 by 15. And I got some floor pans. They're very thin, but they were cheap, so I got them, and those will weld in right there. That's what your seat sits on and such like that. This has got a the frame on a Volkswagen is a tube frame in the center, and then you've got your floor pans, and then the chassis or the body bolts all to that. So pretty cool, huh? Hope that transmission's not full of water. Well, you can hope in one hand and in the other, and you can see what gets filled up first. Yeah. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch this back together so I have a pattern. So I'm really interested in a pattern. I really gotta have something to go by. So cut me a piece of metal there, just junk, whatever, and we'll stitch these two pieces together. I'll whack it off down here. I know it'll fall. I'll have it on a, yeah, whatever. And then I'll have to make some measurements back here, and these got to come off. So let's get this first thing done. That will work good enough, and I'm going to support it with that. I'm going to whack these right here with the plasma cutter, both sides. Oh, I need to take these off also, so let's take these off. Are you going to throw those away? Why, of course not. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to clean them up and use them again. Oh boy. Hey, let's look at something really quick. See if I can find it. Anything in here? I don't know how this junk is. Aw. Aw. Aha. What do we have here? Yeah. We have that tag. Maybe the other tag is still on the car. I haven't looked and seen. Hold on a second here. Okay, let's see here. 110 denotes it's 1970. 287 650. He's showing me his VIN number. Oh! Give me a break. How stupid. Well, I can't show a tag. And if you look at that right there. Let's see if we're on the right track. 7650. 7650. 2876. 2876. 50. It looks like it. Yeah, I'm on the right track. I have this deal right here because I got plastic on there, or tape on there, I think, because I've got the heads to the rivets there underneath it. I don't know. Okay, let's get these off. Okay. Got those. Now, we'll just kind of, I don't know. I'll just put those over there for right now. And kind of interested in getting this off of there. Let's see if I can save this. It's probably gonna be it's not gonna come off of there. Oh my goodness, what do you know about that? Let's have a peek inside that. Let's have a little peek. Let's have a little, hold on, let's see if the water drains out of it first. Let's have a little gander at that inside. Feels really heavy, like it's got 9 pounds of rust in it. Not good. Not bad, though. Probably work again. Okay, I've got these leads hooked up to 443 phase at about 75 amps. So it's a 1 amp battery charger at 12 volts. Give me a break. See if we have, yeah, we have power. Okay, this one's going to one part of the coil, and this one is the ground going to the other part of the coil. Let's see. Whoa. She's a winner, folks. Okay, that one's a good one. Wonderful. Just 12 million more parts to rehab. Yay.